with that, I think this is interesting. Passion management is as crucial as time management and often overlooked.
Well, I think we've talked about this a little bit. Um, I think you can have the best schedule in the world, but if you're not managing your passions and interests in life, you can end up just going through the motions, right? Um, I like to have lots of different interests to keep life fresh so that when I return to, let's say, my main one here, photography, I'm still excited about the novelty it brings. Like if I'm living in the photography space all the time, it reaches a level of normalcy that becomes boring and mundane. And I don't want to live that way.
I like you. I like you. I like that. I like you too.
Thanks, man.
But not but. To add on, and yes, and do you? Is there a line where the passion changes from lust to love?
What do you mean?
I feel like there's this line or there's this beginning for a lot of things in life: a new job, a new car we want, a new house, a new girlfriend, a new passion.
Right.
That it's easy to be like high on life, obsessed with it, obsessed with the attention you're getting on Instagram, the likes, the people are seeing your art. You're getting deals now for the first time. News, new, and shiny is really, really exciting. And I think we've all seen where that drops off or it gets normalized. And then you either love it and now it's work. Now it's work that you love. But the motivation or the initial sort of lust for whatever it is dies down. And I think that's where the problem can occur for people, where they feel that sort of honeymoon phase die and they go, oh, maybe it's not for me. Next new shiny thing. And then you always are sort of like a B student in whatever you're doing. And I'm speaking from personally experience and not pushing past into the like, I love this thing. Maybe it's not the honeymoon phase, but damn, I'm going to treat it right. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can. I'm going to rest when I need to. I'm going to take care of myself. But that's also love. Like that's also part of it, part of the equation. It's not just all about this thing. I'm not diving in every single day because that is not sustainable and that is okay. I think hearing that from two of us that have gone through that, there's probably someone listening right now that's like on that brink of like, oh, why am I still doing this thing? Like, do I still curious? I'm still like listening to the podcast about photography. I think I like it, but like, I just don't feel like going out like I used to. I don't feel like sitting in a field for 8 hours for no photos.
And then there's a guilt.
There's a guilt for sure. For sure. So yes, I think there's a transfer there from lust to love. And that was my original question to you. I guess I explained it for a long time.
But I was going to let you know that you answered your own question, but
but for you, is that a noticeable line? Is that a noticeable sort of honeymoon period and then dies down? Do you pick something up around it? Do you pick something up adjacent, video, things like that? What's your thoughts on my thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts on your thoughts.
Good. That's why we're here.
I think it's unrealistic to think that lust is the permanent phase. I think exactly what you just said. If you are constantly chasing the feelings that acquiring something in a lustful period brings, you're doomed to be unhappy because lust can't stay forever. And I think you have to find ways to fall in love with the mundane actions or things within the space that you love. Or have a broader concept that you're serving. So for example, this is why I enjoy, what makes me happy is like working hard at something. And I am in love with that feeling of being able to confidently say to myself, like, I worked really hard on that. I think right now, everything I'm doing, well, not everything, most of what I'm doing right now, I'm always asking myself, am I working hard right now in general? For me, that's what keeps things moving forward a lot of the time. Do I have like a lust for, have I had a honeymoon phase that's ended with photography? Yeah, of course. You can't keep the excitement level at 100 all the time. But what you can do is you can discover things within that thing. You can uncover things that are interesting. Right now, for me, it's video. Been loving how to tell a story with different clips. That's still me with my camera. That's still me editing on a computer, right? There's so many things to uncover within your area of interest to keep things novel. I think when you stop going to look for them, people get bored and say, is this it? Like, this is all this is? Like, I don't feel the same way I did when I started. Let's go find something else to chase the dragon.
Yeah. And it reminds me of, I think, a saying. Let me see if I can get this right. And it applies to any relationship with something or someone or whatever. But you can have 1,000 different relationships that are all the same, or you can have 1,000 different relationships with the same one thing or person. So
I think that applies beautifully.
So you can keep chasing. Photography was fun for 2 years. That was cool. Now I'm going to pick up guitar. Now I'm going to pick up golf. I'm jabbing myself here in the
What's wrong with
reverse
that,
order.
though? That's an interesting life.
No, yeah. And you get 1,000 tastes, but of the same depth. A
Sure.
bit. Versus
But
finding.
that's okay. I want to say that.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Versus, I guess the other way is to like 1,000 different angles of photography, or
right,
picking up the camera, pressing, let's record this in video. Let's try to get a little better at Premiere. Let's bring in photography into Premiere. Now I have this skill. Let's add this skill. Let's add this little thing. Let's try to get a client. Let's try to I'll shoot a wedding. I'll give it a go. Just expanding that sort of original passion into a bunch of different things that are different, but within it. So you're not abandoning ship as soon as it gets hard or boring. You're making it interesting as you go.
I think you, in this instance, people listening or watching should envision a canyon.
The Grand Canyon?
Sure.
Okay.
Pretty canyon.
I like it.
You can have it anywhere on the spectrum from a mile deep and an inch wide to an inch deep and a mile wide, and anywhere in between.
Yeah.
The depth being how far you want to dig into something. The further you dig into something requires more of your time, and the width of your canyon has to be much smaller. Or the width of your canyon can be a mile wide, and you can scratch the surface and anywhere in between and pick which best suits your personality throughout life.
I'm imagining that shallow canyon.
What would your canyon look like?
It'd be beautiful.
In the past. And how would you like it to look? Different or the same?
Be a bunch of big holes. I think I can get pretty deep on things.
Like a W?
Yeah. But pretty deep. People seeing it would be like, wow, that's a big hole.
Golf, guitar, photography,
that's a big hole.
Podcasting.
Yeah, to a I'm proud level. Like, I'm proud of that accomplishment level.
Right.
To take it to the next level? No. But
because then other holes get shallower.
Yeah.
Like, there's a price to pay, right?
Everything's a trade-off.
Everything is a trade-off.
It is.
Everything.
It is.
And again, it has to align with how you've structured your priorities. Going back to the very first thing we started talking about.
Yes. And either way is okay. I think just that scary point of like, it's just a notice this, people. when the original passion goes away, because it will at some point, it's not the end. It's just a different phase of this relationship you have with this art.
Yeah, it's lust and love.
Yeah.
Lust doesn't stay forever. It can't.
That'd be
Otherwise,
weird.
it wouldn't have any impact.
It'd be strange.
The lust is what hooks you, and then you stick around if you love it.
Exactly. All right. Talent. Well, first, before I start this, I feel like this quote, if there's an essence of what you stand for, is this. So,
You talking to me specifically?
yeah.
Or you in general?
No, you specifically.
Okay.
So, talent doesn't stand a chance against great work ethic. As the saying goes, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
True statement.